Welcome viewers. Thanks for tuning in, and it's back to my normal schedule of TV box reviews. Today I have a box from Eachlink. It's part of a late shipment I placed a couple weeks ago with the HK1 Max and another box that I will review next. This is the Eachlink H6 Max, Android 9.0 4K TV box. This model runs on the Allwinner H6 CPU with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage. So at first glance it looks like it's a great TV box, but as you all know on this channel, I will put it to the test to see how it performs. So stay tuned, that's coming up next. Welcome back. This is the box and there are no specs printed anywhere, so I will just quickly unpack its contents. So this is what you get in the box. You have the H6 Max TV box itself. You get this infrared remote. It's the usual point-and-click infrared remote, and I always mention that if you want advanced navigation of your box, a Bluetooth Air mouse or mini touchpad keyboard is a better option. You get one HDMI cable, a 5 volts 2 amps micro USB power adapter, and a user manual. And now a quick look at what ports you have on this box. The body is made of plastic, with the Eachlink logo printed to the top. To the back of the box, you have one HDMI port. You have one Ethernet LAN port at 100 megabits per second. You get one IR extender port, one audio-video port, one SPDIF digital audio jack, and a micro USB power input. To the side, you have one USB 3.0 port, one USB 2.0, and a micro SD card reader. There is nothing on the other side. To the front, you have an LED clock display. And to the bottom, you have some very small ventilation holes, and 2 cutout wall mounting holes. I will now set it up on my TV and capture card and continue. So I'm set and ready to go. And as I start up the box, you have an H6 Max startup animation for a couple of seconds. Then you are taken directly to the launcher. So this is the launcher. It has a very basic layout with large main buttons that cannot be changed, with a one-click memory cleanup button for freeing up system resources. It comes with a shortcuts bar for adding shortcuts to the launcher, by simply clicking on the Add button and selecting which apps you would like to add or remove. The launcher does not come with a navigation bar or status bar for multitasking, and unfortunately, the menu button navigation bar, and the Snowball Notifications app does not work on this box. In the device preferences you have the following options. 4K resolution up to 2160p at 60 Hz. HDR display settings. You have surround sound options. However, under the manual option there is no DTS audio options to enable. And you have Bluetooth pairing of devices. In the apps section, pre-installed on the box is the AirScreen app, Chrome browser, Film on Live, the MX Player, Miracast Receiver, Mobdro, Netflix, the Google Play Store, and YouTube. I will now install all the apps needed to complete my review. So I have installed all my apps. And first I will check to see if alternative launchers work on this box. I installed the ADW Launcher 2, and it works fine on this box. All features are working, including the long click pop-up menu, and the drag and drop shortcuts feature. The screen rotation test revealed that this box does not support screen rotation, just something to know if you are one of those persons that value this feature. I will now show its root information. And it shows that the box is not rooted, running on Android 9 operating system. And once again you are reminded not to try and update the Super User app, as it will put the box into a permanent boot loop that will require a flash of the firmware to fix it. The DRM information shows that you have Google Widevine Level 3, and no HDCP protection. This only allows Netflix to show in standard 420p quality. Let's look at its system and hardware information. The manufacturer of this box is Allwinner, and the model is the H6 Max. It comes with 4 GB of RAM, which is DDR3 memory, and this is the remainder of the storage from the 64 GB after the Android installation and all the apps I have installed. The Bluetooth version here is 4+, indicating that the Bluetooth version is 4.1. The CPU, which is the Allwinner H6, is a 64-bit quad-core ARM Cortex-A53 CPU running up to 1.4 GHz in 32-bit mode. Below here it shows that the box has support for only 32-bit ABIs, allowing it to run only 32-bit applications. The display is powered by the ARM Mali T720 graphics processor, with a refresh rate of 60 Hz and OpenGLES version 3.1, which is not the best option for latest gaming. Under network, it shows that the box has dual-band 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi support. Under Android information, it shows that the operating system is Android 9 Pie, and it also shows that the box is not rooted. Under thermal information, it shows that the box runs hot between 55 to 80 degrees Celsius under normal operation, and I recommend a passive cooling fan for this box. The box comes with codecs for playing 4K videos, which includes Video HEVC and H.264 decoder, and I will test to see if it has Dolby features in a moment. And that's it for system and hardware information, and let's now see the performance of the H6 Max, and where it fits on my chart. First, I show the results of the RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. The results show that the H6 Max has a RAM copy speed of 2769 megabytes per second. The internal storage has a read speed of 137 megabytes per second and a write speed of 133. The RAM copy speed is a bit low compared to other boxes, but the internal storage read and write speeds are pretty good, noticeably higher than usual. Next, I have the results of the Wi-Fi speed test. The results show that the box has maximum speed on the 5 GHz Wi-Fi band, and the 2.4 GHz and the LAN port fell below the maximum speed of my internet package of 60 megabytes by as much as 50%. Which means for the best internet speed on this box, you should use the 5.8 GHz Wi-Fi band. In the Antutu benchmark the box got a score of 45,717. This score is average, and we will see how it does on the chart. The CPU benchmark shows that the box got a Geekbench score of 597 single-core, and 1,329 multi-core. Another average score by the H6 Max. The final score is the Ice Storm Extreme and the Sling Shot GPU graphics benchmark. The H6 Max got a score of 3,733 in the Ice Storm Extreme, and 112 in the Sling Shot test. So once again the scores here are lower than average, which would affect the box's ability to render games efficiently. So after entering the scores, the H6 Max ranked at position number 19 on my chart in reference to Antutu benchmark scores. This is not a very high rank, but it is still supposed to deliver some decent performance. This chart is available on my website in full spreadsheet format where you can interact with it and compare values. I placed a link in the description area. So in this next segment I will start with Netflix. The version of Netflix pre-installed on the box works okay, but due to the lack of required DRM support, this version can only play in standard quality, as it is shown here in a movie description. The YouTube version that comes installed on the box is the mobile version that plays up to 1080p quality. I tried to install the Android TV version and it could not install via the Aptoide App Store or via APK download. I will now run some 4K video samples. I played those samples using the Kodi media player and the playback was poor on this box. Due to the poor video playback, I will skip the Dolby and DTS surround sound test and continue with the review. And now I will play some Android games. The gaming performance of this box is very poor, and it's not because the box can't handle the games, it's because the box has very small ventilation holes at the bottom, so the temperature rises to almost 100 degrees, and this causes lots of throttling and slows down the box. This is when I pop off the bottom cover of the box and apply a passive cooling fan. The temperature still climbs to 70 degrees but it doesn't go above that. The game also plays much better with little throttling. In summary, the Eachlink H6 Max has too many issues for me to recommend to anyone. It has great potential, but the overheating situation compromises everything. The problem is in the design of the box. The heatsink on the board is too small to effectively dissipate the heat, and it needs larger ventilation holes to allow better airflow. The firmware is lacking proper optimization, and due to the heating problem they governed the CPU clock speed to try to control it. During the review the USB 3.0 port totally went dead, and never worked after that. The Eachlink H6 Max is a failed TV box. Thanks for watching. Remember to click the subscribe button and the notifications bell, as this is required to be notified when I release another video review, or to give yourself a chance to receive a giveaway. Stay tuned, and see you in the next one.